All hail Breezes! All hail Breezes!
The GOAT!
Breezes Christ!
All right, guys. My favorite episode of the podcast.
Welcome back, our
TwinTake so
football
far.
fanatics.
So last episode we talked about the NFC North and the lack of a division.
Bear down.
Now we're going to talk about a real division in the NFC and probably the Super Bowl contenders, representatives, future champions, the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, Kyle's a dire Bears fan.
But I love Drew Brees. You gotta love Drew Brees. Like if I ever have a kid one day and find a female to put up with me in my sports and Drake and the Bears and everything, I want him to be Drew Brees.
He's a GOAT on and off the field. So to start the NFC South, obviously we're gonna start with the Saints.
You want me to start and then you can ramble?
Yeah,
after?
Kyle,
Okay.
You go first.
All right, so for the Saints, I gave them a B.
He must think that the grading scale goes B as your highest score.
I gave the Saints a B, but ironically, though, like I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, but I think they killed the draft. The thing is, the Saints have one of the most stacked rosters in NFL. I mean, their two needs coming into this year was another like edge rusher linebacker to help out with Demario Davis, who's the best cover linebacker right now in NFL. Demario Davis.
All
So
pro.
they need another linebacker to help him because their other two are usually unhealthy. And Cam Jordan's a stud off the line, so they just need another linebacker. And then they need another receiver, so they can't double Michael Thomas, who's the best in the game.
Most catches ever in a season.
And they got Emmanuel Sanders in free agency, so they come in the draft. They don't have many needs. And who they go with first? They got, is it Cesar Ruiz? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Ruiz.
So he's the best interior lineman in the whole draft. And dude, I mean, come on, hello. That's protection for Drew Brees. I mean, you win from the inside out with the line.
Look at the playoff game. People all bash Brees. He was getting pressure the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
He's a short pocket passer. The whole game, if you rewatch that film, it's just pressure through the middle of the line.
Well, and if you don't have many needs and you get protection for the best quarterback in NFL history, the best interior lineman from college, I mean, that's a great draft pick right there.
It's a top 5 line already.
And then round 3, I was preaching about this guy too, Cory. I had him in my mock draft in the first round. I was shocked he fell to him. Zach Vaughn, linebacker from Wisconsin. Typical. He reminds me of Nick Kwiatkowski, who was on the Bears. Now he's not anymore, but he's that typical blue collar, bring your lunch pail to work kind of guy who's not the biggest linebacker, not the fastest linebacker, but he's going to find the football every single play.
And you know what to get out of him. You know what you're going to get.
He's not going to miss tackles. He's not going to miss assignments, and he's gonna be that leader for the defense. Honestly,
he'll do his job. He'll do what's asked.
Yeah, and so he's going to help out with Demario Davis and that defense. So you got protection for Brees. You got that linebacker you need. And then the Saints come back, trade back in or whatnot, trade up, and they get Adam Troutman. And I'm a little sketchy sometimes because the Bears, when we took a small school tight end, he sucked, Adam Shaheen. But Troutman, the Bears were looking at him because, hold on, I got some stats from him. So last year, I know it's Dayton, 70 catches, 14 touchdowns and 13 yards per catch.
That's 14 touchdowns in a season.
And he's a physical specimen. So, dude, he knows how to produce. And if you know how to produce, they have the protection, you have the best quarterback throwing to you. So,
they reminded him of Jimmy Graham coming out of college.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what they're trying to do.
Is this Jimmy Graham Jr.? And then Jared Cook, is he still playing this year? One more year?
Yeah.
Okay. So he could help him, groom him, because he's like 38,
Jared Cook did
39.
good last year, too, yeah.
So you got him, and then the only one, and Cory can explain this one, he'll give you the background on this, but I think that's why I marked it down to a B, because they didn't have too many picks, but they didn't need too many picks. They didn't have many needs. But the round 7, trading back in, like giving up capital, that's why I just docked him a little bit. Giving up capital to get Tommy Stevens, quarterback from Mississippi State. I was kind of shocked with that because I think his stats were like 15 touchdowns to 7 picks.
So the Tommy Stevens story, there's a couple things. At the Combine, the Saints met with him, and they made him catch the ball. They made him run routes. They made him run with the ball like a running back. Basically, he has the size and speed of a Taysom Hill. Mm-hmm. Big, fast guy, physical.
He's describing me.
Yeah. So they were looking at him to be like Taysom Hill and to be groomed under Taysom Hill for the next couple seasons. But the real story behind it was reported after the draft was Joe Brady, who used to work for the Saints under Sean Payton and then worked at LSU, obviously, and helped Joe Burrow.
Go Tigers!
Yep, that's right. National champions. Joe Brady's with Carolina, and he wanted Tommy Stevens. Sean Payton found this out, traded back in, got Tommy Stevens, and then sent a text to Joe Brady, basically.
That's awesome. That's a true OG right there, man.
Yeah,
that's who you want coaching your organization.
That's a team in your division, and he's basically saying, hey, we're going to make sure you can't have
That's
this guy.
awesome.
So obviously they do think Stevens has potential.
And guess what? He could trade up and use a pick because they're such a well-run organization. The Saints, sorry to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good.
The Saints have the most regular season wins the past 3 years, not the Patriots, not anybody else. The Saints, the past 3 seasons, have the most regular season wins.
Well, people don't realize because they keep choking in the playoffs, but the thing is, they're the only team that's consistently there every year. And they're always 13 wins 2 years in a row. There's so much turnaround in the NFL and change, and to consistently be winning 13 games and to consistently be a top team in NFC, because you're playing the rest of the top teams each year when you win your division.
It's because it's a small market. They're not like the, and I'm not talking market size because Green Bay's a small market, but Green Bay,
Dallas,
Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Dallas, those are like the teams that have fan bases worldwide. New Orleans is a smaller market.
Well, if you watch Undisputed, might as well be the Dallas Cowboys show.
Jesus.
And every other show is about Tom Brady. Shannon Sharp doesn't stop talking about LeBron James.
Yeah, I love Shannon Sharp, but he's dude.
They all have
stop. That's, my God. Don't even. I know that's off topic, but if you think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, unsubscribe, stop watching. You need help.
Well, okay,
go get your eyes checked out.
Beyond the point, Kyle kind of touched on most of it, but the Saints don't have many holes. The last 3 seasons have shown that. We did need another receiver for Mike Thomas. I mean, he's catching 149 balls in a season. That just tells you right there someone else.
They knew the ball was going to him, and now they can't double team him.
So Emmanuel Sanders, look what he did with San Fran. And every team Emmanuel Sanders has been on, he's been to the Super Bowl. So let's hope that track record stays. But he's going to be a huge weight lifted off the shoulders for Mike Thomas. He's reliable. He's a great route runner. He's a veteran. He's a big pickup. We have a good linebacking core, but Kiko Alonso gets injured, so does Alex Anzalone.
Availability is the best ability.
Exactly. So getting Vaughn was a big move. There's really not that many holes. We have a lot of depth. I mean, that showed last year when Breeze and Kamara and Jared Cook were missing games, and we still went 5-0 on that stretch. The big thing with the Saints right now is
I'll be like my life from first. Like, no, let's get
it going. Yeah. I mean, this is our chance to do it. This is the 4th year in a row that we have a stacked roster. We're favorites, heavily favored in the NFC right now. I keep seeing most analysts pick the Saints or Niners to represent the NFC. Rightfully so. A lot of big primetime games. It's Breeze's last year.
All I'm going to say is if you guys believe in the American dream, if you believe in good karma, if you believe hard work pays off, then you believe Drew Brees is going to get carried out hoisting a Lombardi.
Drew Brees will
get
Cinderella
story.
He will get that one more ring. It's going to happen.
All right, guys. So, Saints, good draft. But the best draft in the NFC South and the leading contender for you guys in the division this year. Can't wait to watch both matchups. Tampa Bay Bucks. So Tristan Wirfs, my God,
physical specimen.
What a stud! That guy. What was he? Wrestling champ in high school, a discus or shot put champ, and he apparently could jump out of a pool.
It was basically taking my highlights, but a guy who weighs 200 pounds heavier than I do.
No, yeah. He wasn't even the croquet champion in high school. Not even the math league and chess one.
We didn't have croquet, but continue.
Yeah, well, he wouldn't have made it. But honestly, Tristan Wirfs an athletic freak, especially for lineman. He's quick too. He's strong as hell. Didn't he set the deadlifting record at Iowa? Wasn't it him?
It wasn't deadlifting, but
I don't know. He set some lifting record. That said something at Iowa.
It was a clean.
And come on, Big Ten, we know, especially Wisconsin, Iowa, those big farm boys, they produce old linemen just like LSU and Ohio State produce DBs. They produce linemen. They pump them out like that. I think Tristan Wirfs was probably. I might be Big Ten biased. I thought he was the best tackle in the draft, and he slips to the Bucs, so that's protection for Brady.
Well, funny story about that. Before Kyle continues, the Bucs made several calls. They were trying to trade up within 7 spots to get him. They called. I believe they said they called 7 teams. No one was answering. So then they only had to trade up 1 spot.
Yeah,
so they barely gave anything up to get him. And so that good luck for them.
Well, and then round 2, they got the guy I wanted the Bears to take. I wanted the Bears to take Winfield Jr. or Delpit. Winfield Jr.
Oh, his cover skills are amazing.
I'm telling you right now, he is going to be all pro. He's going to be
He's got several Pro Bowls.
His dad was a great player. He's even better. People try to. The one thing that he can't control, like I hate when people go, "Oh, they said the same thing with Drew Brees, Russell Wilson." People, I don't care about his size. The guy, what do you have, 6 or 7 picks the other year, and he's all Big Ten? I mean, the guy's a stud.
Well,
and he also led Minnesota in tackles, which isn't good if they're getting to the safety, but he leads. So I'm sorry, but the knock on Delpit was they said he doesn't like the tackle. He led Minnesota in tackles. He led the country in interceptions, and he was all Big Ten.
Well, the funny part, too, with Winfield Jr., in 2006, when Brees first came to Saints, he faced Winfield on the Vikings, so he'll be playing his son this year, and it's going to be funny. I mean, like father, like son, but Winfield Jr. is going to be starting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then their next pick, I watched him play at U of I, and I was pissed he transferred out. I understand, but he didn't even go to a better school. He went to Vanderbilt. But he was a good running back, Keyshawn Vaughn, and U of I. That's something we have, past couple decades with Mikel Shore, Pierre Thomas, Richard Mendenhall. We produce some NFL running backs, and I'm telling you what, Keyshawn Vaughn. I'm just gonna say we had a U of I guy get drafted, even though he went to Vanderbilt last season. But he's a good back, and they got him in like round 3 or 4. So that's good because that's one thing that is a weakness on the Bucs. I mean, Aaron Jones and Peyton Barber, they don't do anything.
Aaron Jones.
Sorry, Aaron Jones. God, sorry. Ronald Jones. Sorry. Ronald Jones. Well, Green Bay might give him Aaron Jones at this point. I mean, who knows? But Ronald Jones and Peyton Barber, they're not going to intimidate anybody. So I think Keyshawn Vaughn can help. He might actually take the load of the carries. And then their round 5 pick, I absolutely love. So Tyler Johnson.
That guy's dude, he's physically.
Listen to this: 86 catches, 1,300 receiving yards, and 13 touchdowns.
Well,
he was all Big Ten.
He's a big body, and he knows how to get up there.
And Minnesota's got a receiver who's coming out next year who's going to be a top 10, probably one of the top receivers picked. He's going to be first round pick coming out next year.
He's a top 10.
He was better than him. He led Minnesota in all stats.
Oh, he shattered like all the records.
So. And then also round 7, we're talking about running backs. They got another dark horse.
Oh, from Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana Lafayette running back.
Raging Cajuns.
So they got. I mean, the Bucs had an amazing draft, as if they already didn't have offensive talent. They go and get Tom Brady.
They're an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah,
their defense is their
question mark. A great coach.
Their defense is literally their question
mark. So their
mark.
defense is a question mark. I love the Antoine Winfield Jr. signing. You got 2 running backs, which Johnson is the weakness, and Tyler Johnson. Dude, they got the. So Minnesota had the best season I've ever seen them have in football. They went 11-2, and they got the best player from each side of football. On Minnesota, they got their best receiver, and then they got the best safety on their defense. So good for the Bucs. I gave them an A. What about you, Cory?
I gave the Bucs an A also. You never asked me what I gave the Saints, but it's cool.
What'd you give the Saints? Like 100 extra credit?
Actually, I don't want to get off topic, but I gave the Saints a B+. The only reason I didn't give them an A is because they didn't have a lot of picks, but they did quality over quantity.
Yeah,
they did quality over quantity. With the Bucs, like you just said, I think they got several players capable of starting. I gave them an A, but it doesn't matter. We're going to whoop them.
Are you sure you didn't give them an A? Because I'm not. I mean, they took a lot of Big Ten guys.
Yeah, so they
one Iowa, 2 Minnesota, 1 former U of I boy. So I understand why you made Cory, because the Big Ten rules.
If there's anything we know about the Big Ten is once they play Bama, LSU, or Georgia, they get their butts whooped.
Man.
Hey, on the big stage, they can't do it. So.
Real quick, 1 second off topic. If it wasn't for coronavirus, Delwine and I were coming back, and we were gonna win the big dance this year, the championship.
This is an NFL show, not a high school basketball show.
Okay.
Continue. Let's just go back to the next.
So next, I got the Panthers. Some people are gonna be like, "What? They didn't even choose." So it's the record for the first time that somebody
all defensive players.
7 picks, all defensive. Like not one offensive player. First time that's happened with that many picks in a draft, the common era.
They already have offensive weapons.
But they're supposed to be rebuilding, and I think they're already
they're retooling.
Yeah, they're retooling. So they brought
You're not rebuilding when you get Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay.
And then, he's a winner.
Yeah, yes, he is a winner. And then Christian McCaffrey is a stud.
They didn't have any problem.
He is the best. I'm talking here. Christian McCaffrey is SpongeBob over here. I'm not Squidward. Christian McCaffrey is the best all-purpose back in the NFL.
Alvin Kamara.
He's a receiver. He could block like a fullback, and the guy, he's a beast.
He can do it all. He deserves the contract.
And then they're picks from defense. So
they also got Robbie Anderson. Also.
So the Panthers. Oh my God, Robbie Anderson.
Dude, the guy's a speedster.
Oh, a speedster who gets 30 catches a year and thinks he should be paid high.
Okay, let's just see how
he acted like Tom Brady should have.
Dude, you were bragging about Ted Ginn.
Yeah, because Ted Ginn's fast, yo.
Robbie Anderson's
He's
the same player.
35 and he can run faster than 90% of the league.
Oh my God.
Just wait till this year.
Just keep going.
He's gonna wipe Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson's gonna wish he was.
You're just digging yourself a grave.
Father time.
No, keep going.
All right. So with their defense, round 1, Derek Brown, defense tackle Auburn.
SEC defensive lineman.
And I think Auburn had the best D line. Not the best defense. I think their D line, because with the freshman quarterback, they kept him in all those. I mean, they beat Alabama.
They played LSU the toughest.
And did they beat Oregon, or they should have beat Oregon at the beginning of the year?
They ended up playing LSU harder than any other team.
And it was because of that D line.
Yeah.
So he was the first one taken from that D line. And so the big reason, I think Matt Rule, real quick before I get back into the picks, he's going to change the culture. So like we said, a retooling. He quickly changed Temple into a contender, made him solid defense. He changed Baylor into a contender, solid defense, and he did this quickly. So he's changing the culture.
Well, he got Joe Brady there too, and look what he did with LSU's offense.
He's changing the culture. He's speeding up the rebuild the right way too, with the defense and with the draft picks and whatnot. And they were 31st in defense last year. So Derek Brown, great pick. Next, they got Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State.
Raw talent, has a lot of ability.
Jeremy Chin, the safety from
He's a poor man's Isaiah Simmons.
Yep, exactly.
They wanted Isaiah Simmons, and they didn't draft Isaiah Simmons, obviously. So then you go back and get Jeremy Chin. What a steal. Yeah. He has ability.
Troy Pride Jr., Notre Dame fans know him.
He's also raw.
Solid corner.
He could be good.
All these guys, most of them could.
He needs to improve his ball locating.
Ball skills. Well, most of these guys might be starting already this year because they have 31st defense. And I mean, if you bring them all together, it's like in college when you bring in a freshman class or a great part of senior year, give them a couple years, they'll learn together. Round 5, Kenny Robinson.
XFL stud.
XFL Battlehawk stud, baby. So Kenny Robinson, the safety, and the story, he was academically ineligible, but he was a freshman Big 12, all Big 12. Was he a Big 12 player, defense player of the year as a freshman?
He was all conference.
To get him round 5, steal. And then round 6 and 7, they took a cornerback and D-tackle. But real quick, before we get off the Panthers, so yes, cultural change, all 7 picks defense. But so 31st defense, listen to this. Derek Brown, Auburn, they had a top 20 defense. The DN from Penn State, number 8 defense. Troy Pride Jr. from Notre Dame, number 15 defense. So you had guys from all top 20s defenses.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're all studs. Like, you want production, he went to programs where they had top 20 defenses.
Well, he knows college football. I mean, come on.
When you're making Temple and Baylor, you're putting them on the map, and he's the reason both schools are on the map.
You can't underestimate the fact that Joe Brady worked with Teddy Bridgewater 2 years ago in New Orleans. So Matt Rule goes out and gets Bridgewater because he knows Brady could work with him. Familiarity.
I absolutely love the hire.
I think that they could get 79 wins this year already. And that's not rebuilding, in my opinion.
I think they're I think the Cardinals are going to be really good this year. I think they're going to be the Cardinals from last year where you see the talent, but it's going to be another year.
They're going to be that. Carolina will be that team this year that ruins other people's seasons.
Yeah, they're going to be in every game. If you don't bring your A game, in the NFL any given Sunday. So I gave the Panthers a B+. What about you, Corey?
I actually gave them A-.
Oh, wow.
And I only because what you kind of went through. We're both huge college football fans, and
which is hard as a U of I fan, but I'm the
the players they selected. The players they selected were great in college.
Yeah,
it just to me, I'm like, these guys are all capable of starting.
It does. Go ahead.
You're good. I just think even offensively, they got DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, they got Robbie Anderson, you got
McCaffrey counts as 2 players.
Yeah, you got McCaffrey, Sweaty Teddy, 2 glove. I mean, I think they did a good job. Yeah. I didn't want to give them an A, but I gave them an A-. Only reason I even gave them a minus is because I picked somebody else.
Well, and I don't always. It doesn't always translate, but these guys they took, like we said, they all produced in college.
Yeah.
And it's not like those guys where the pressure might be too high, where it's like boom or bust.
Or you're just taking them off potential.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like these guys, I go with the eye test over statistics because apparently Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense was the best statistically last year.
God.
No, they weren't. A lot of it's garbage time. Like, come on. So,
they played a horrible schedule.
So now we're going to the Dirty Birds, the Falcons.
I love this. I think they struck out.
I'm sorry, Falcons fans. I know you're still having nightmares at 28-3, and oh my God, Tom Brady's in your division now. What are you guys gonna do when he comes? Dude, it's gonna be like Nightmare on Elm Street, man.
Dude, all I gotta say is during the national championship, it was like we were looking for AJ Terrell.
No, thank you. They send out an APB for AJ Terrell. Everybody, I am holding one game against them,
but they don't play anybody until the playoffs.
Like rise up. It's the championship. But the only time I see him on TV, because I'm not gonna watch him play Boston College or Pittsburgh, dude. I was looking for him during each play because that was going to be a catch. I was like, where's AJ Terrell? Throw it there, bro. Throw it there. Like,
Colin Coward said it was a game of where's Waldo, but where's AJ Terrell? He got torched by everybody.
He got torched. And the thing is, dude, thank you, dude. They left Jalen Johnson. They could have took Jalen Johnson. They left him for the Bears in round 2. They passed up on Diggs and they passed up on Fulton. And I think honestly, I'm just being.
We sound a little extreme. He's a good corner, but he was not the top.
He's a good corner, but I think there was at least 3 or 4 on the board that were better.
Yes.
I mean, it's all going to play out, but
yeah,
that's their first pick. Second pick, a good one. Marlon Davidson, the defensive lineman for Auburn. So he's
very productive.
4-year starter. I like that. I can respect that. A 4-year starter on Auburn's defense. That means you're a stud if you start freshman year.
Yeah.
And he's right there with Derek Brown. He produced just as well as him.
Oh, those two
part
were
of that #1 D line. So that's a good pick because the Falcons defense has been horrible last few years. And he was first team all SEC. Besides that, round 4 they took Jalen Hawkins. So he's a good safety. He's had some injury issues, but I know the Bears were looking at him. He was going to be like the 4th or something safety. We were looking at, but he is a good safety. Like he could start this year for the Falcons for that defense. And I think the last 2 years he had 9 picks if you combine the last 2 years. Like he is a good safety. He has somewhat of an knack for football, and besides injury issues,
that's been a problem with their defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Atlanta's defense is always injured.
I was just gonna say how injury because they've drafted some great linebackers too, but injury issues. And so I think you could plug him in, especially because if you look at California last year, still pissed you guys beat the Illini. I think it was the Red Box Bowl, but you beat Illinois.
The Red Box Bowl. What was that, a 5-1 bowl game or something?
Well, you laugh at it now, but everyone's watching Red Box now because video stores are closed. So, anyways, but California, they were undefeated last year, and then their starting quarterback got hurt, and then they still had a decent year because of that defense, and he was one of the leaders of that defense. So.
Well, and here's my thing with Atlanta. People don't realize the year Philadelphia won the Super Bowl, Atlanta was a catch away from winning that game.
Yeah.
In the playoffs side. And then the year
Jesus, what was their play call? Let's just throw it to Julio Jones in the corner like 3 plays in a row. I'm like, Jesus, come up with something else.
And then also, they very well could have won that Super Bowl.
Jesus
Christ. They're not
just
that
hand
far
off
off
the football.
They're really not that far off from that.
Hand off the football.
Defensive injuries. Are you talking about Marshawn Lynch and the Seahawks, or are you talking about?
Are you talking about when he had the earthquake against the Saints when they were?
No, I was talking about when they didn't hand off the ball to him in the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Oh yeah. Well, Marshawn Lynch is trying to come back, and I love me beast mode, but geez, I hope he gets off that Ben Roethlisberger.
Off-season diet.
Yeah, because my God, dude, last year he came in looking like who was the one who the Rams took the bowling ball?
Oh shoot,
the bowling ball.
Oh,
I don't know. Who doesn't love Marshawn Lynch? But he needs a better off-season program this year. Okay, let's get back on topic.
What I'm saying is Atlanta still has talent. Like people think they're not as bad as people think.
Matt Ryan's a former MVP. Julio
Jones is just a beast, and then you got Ridley.
Don't know what are they doing at running back though? Gurley.
Has been.
I like Gurley, but you're taking a risk with somebody that age who already has arthritis in both knees.
But here's the thing: if Gurley for 3 years was the best running back in the NFL, no doubt about it, scoring machine. If he's even half
that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have. He still last year, and that was actually nice in McVay and him. They did him justice by not running him into the ground. Like most teams would be like, screw you, because they probably knew they were gonna not, they were gonna get rid of him after. But he still had a good average yards per carry, and he still could be effective. And they like to pass a lot with Matt Ryan, so they could figure something out for him.
Well, and he has to love being there. He went to Georgia for college.
Yeah, and he wants to prove something.
Oh yeah.
And then there are 2 other picks I wrote down. Round 3, they got a center, so protection for Matt Ryan. And then the last pick, though, come on, that's kind of desperation. They drafted a punter. Round 7, so your first pick, you took a cornerback who got absolutely exposed on national TV when there was other ones left. Better, but he could be start, especially for your defense. And then your last pick was a punter. Why didn't you wait till free agency? Yeah, that was kind of harsh. I kind of roasted them Atlanta, but they got 3 guys they could plug in on defense to start. Protection for Matt Ryan, so I'm gonna give them a C+. There's nothing that really impressed me. I was shocked with their round 1 pick. I thought there was more on the board. I like the Marlon Davidson pick. I like Jalen Hawkins in the 4th round, and that's about it. With them,
I gave them a C. Honestly, the whole NFC South, I thought, did good drafting besides Atlanta.
Best in just even free agency, anything off season.
Oh, NFC South's gonna be tough this year.
So we're gonna go down later. Well, after we finish going over all the divisions. So we're done with the NFC now.
We did do NFC West through our podcast, but we didn't do a YouTube video.
And that's NFL TwinCast. If you want to subscribe to that on Spotify, Apple, or anything, it's free. And then for YouTube, it's NFL TwinTake. But yeah, so we finished all the NFC. So next we're going to cover the AFC divisions. And then after that, we're going to dive deeper into, since the schedule is released, we're going to dive in, look at, because everyone's got most of their, free agents. They did their drafts. So we kind of know what the rosters are going to
make some
predictions.
Yeah,
so we're going to make some predictions off schedules and who we think's going to, win the divisions and stuff. And then we'll take it from there. So thanks for listening again, guys.
Go Saints.
We'll make it through this.
We're about to win it 4 years in a row, NFC South.
Yeah.
4 years in a row. Here we come.
All hail Jesus Christ and bear down my bear Lombardi.